Okay, guys, I'm going to do a three-part series here on possums from the round all the way to the finished product on board. I know there's a lot of guys out there that they don't keep their possums, but it pays for a lot of gas money. It's good fur handling experience. If you're not getting a ton of critters a day, they're worth putting up. So we're going to do a three-part series on skinning and then fleshing and then boarding of the possum. So like I said, there'll be three parts. This part here will be the skinning of the possum, and then the second will be the fleshing, and then the third part will finally be the boarding of the possum. So like I said, it's not real hard. I know a lot of the younger trappers out there, a possum is one thing that you can get in any set. They're not hard to catch. For me, they're like a bycatch, but I still put them up. They're worth doing. They're not worth much, but if done right, that they're worth a few bucks. So what we're gonna do is we've got a nice possum here. As far as color-wise, this is what you're actually looking for. The real darker black ones, they're not near as desirable. But anyway, that's the possum we're going to do from start to finish. I'd just like to say at the beginning of this video, I'm not trying to brag on myself in any way, but every time I send possums to the auction, I usually have multiple ones in the very top lot. I know they don't give top lot awards for possums, but I still have possums in the top lot, and I'm not saying that to brag on myself. I'm just saying that just because you can take what I tell you and you can take it to heart that it's done the way that the auction houses want, and it's done right. So pretty much I'm trying to say, without trying to brag on myself, I know what I'm doing. So take these steps and put them to use, and you'll see a good increase on your possums. So we're going to get started skinning this possum here, and as far as tools, we're going to have our rod that we use for skinning coons, and we're going to have a knife. That's the only tools that we're going to use for skinning this possum. As you can see, I've got him hung up here on my machine. We're not going to use the machine, but I've got him hung up here just to make the initial cuts and to pull him. So however you hang your fur to skin, we're going to start off like that. Okay, so we've got our possum hung up now. We've got them all brushed out with fur comb, remove any burrs or mats or anything. We're going to start with the initial cut. Okay, on the possum, we've got him hung up here, and we're going to take our knife and we're going to go in between the thumb part here and the heel. And we're going to make our initial cut, and this is a male. We're going to run right up in between the vent and the balls. Right up, straight shot to the other leg in between where the thumb and the heel meet. Okay? On a female, you can just go below the vent. Okay? So we're going to take our knife, make our initial cut. Possums have very thin skin, so the cut's very easy to make. Okay, there's our initial cut, like so. Alright, next we're going to turn him, and I'm going to reposition him so where the camera can see okay, right in the dead center of his tail. We're going to take our knife and we're going to place it in the dead center of the tail, and we're going to run up towards the vent. Okay? Now as we come around, we're just going to go on each side of the vent with our knife and cut that out. Okay? Very easy. Next, we're going to take our steel, and this can all be done with just by pulling with your hands. The steel, I find, is just easier. We're going to run our steel between the legs. We're going to pull down to the bottom of the foot, and that's going to free that up. We're going to pull that free, I'm going to change, and we're going to do the other foot. Run our steel through and pull down, just like we would on a coon. Okay, cut that free. All right, on the tail section here, just like we would on a coon, we're going to run our steel between the skin and the back. We're just going to pull down. It's going to pull us right to our where we made our initial cut on the tail. We're just going to cut around the base of the tail. We're going to leave just that little square of fur on, and if you're putting them on a wire stretcher, that's where you put your feet or your arm for your stretcher, and on the wood, that's where we're going to make our final tacks. Okay, the process from here is very simple. We're just going to free up around the testicles here a little bit so we can pull them. Now I've got this machine, but I don't pull possums because they have very thin skin, and whenever you get around the shoulder area, it tends to pull sometimes, and you don't want to pop them. They're not worth much anyway. You want to keep the holes to a minimum. Okay, so we're just going to take him, and we're just going to pull him down a little bit. Get a good hold. And we're just going to keep pulling them all the way down. We get down around the arm, and possums pull fairly easy. If you get a good pull, you can work right inside the arm area there. On the inside, I like to take my steel, and you can run it right up inside the arm and pull down, and you can free that arm up that way. And by doing that, it helps on finger fatigue. Sometimes it's hard on the fingers. Okay, now we got both arms freed up. Move the camera down a little bit. Okay, we're going to cut at the base of the foot, leaving a little arm on. I always just leave as much as I can. That can all be trimmed off when boarding. Better to cut them long in the skinning process. We're just going to ring right around it with our knife. Very simple. Okay, now that that's done, set our knife down and we can give it another pull down. Okay, we come to the ears. We're going on appearance now. I mean, like I said, these animals aren't worth that much. We want to make a presentation look as neat as we can. We're going to keep the ear holes very neat and clean. We cut the ears. We're going to go down to the eyes. Keep the eye holes as small as possible. We're just going to work our way around the head. Very easy. There's an eye. Keep the skin tight. And as we get around the eye, we can get inside the jaw, and we can open up this piece of skin to the jaw. Okay, now we've got our eyes freed. And give it another good pull there. Come down towards the nose. We're going to free up the gums below the nose. Okay. On this side as well. Free it up. we get down towards the nose. Possums have a very long nose. You can pull that cartilage or with your knife, work that cartilage quite a ways down. So we'll do that. There's free. We'll give the bottom lip a little tug. The last little bit we're going to leave on the hide. That's useless. Won't sell. And there we have our skinned possum. Okay. We'll move on to the fleshing stage. After this, I'm going to wash him. I wash all my furs regardless. Like I said, I know we're going on appearance for this possum. We want him as clean as possible. So I'm going to get him in the washing machine and wash him up. And for possums, they're very easy to flesh. You can either put them in the refrigerator and let them get cold, or you can flesh them at room temperature. So we're going to get him ready, and part 2 will be the fleshing of the possum. Okay?